How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you what it's like to drive the all-new G63 4x4 squared from a first-person point of view. Finally, we get an AMG version of the almighty 4x4. This is the second generation, and it looks absolutely insane. All of the stuff on here is from the factory. So one of the biggest things about this car is that it has portal axles. So instead of the hubs going directly in the center of the wheel, the portal axles allow for massive amounts of ground clearance based on where they mount. So we've got massive wheels and tires, carbon fiber fender flares, enormous bumper. Now, because this is the G63, 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 making 577 horsepower and over 600 pound-feet of torque. Check out the lights up on the top, all of that carbon fiber. One of my favorite parts of the car has to be this back here, the spare tire with the carbon fiber 4x4 squared, and the fact that it has a ladder. Let's go ahead and open up the back hatch. We've actually got a decent amount of storage space back here. Beautiful Alcantara. Look, they stitched royalty in the back. That's pretty cool. Nice quilted leather there. I imagine hopping up in here is pretty ridiculous. We've also got a little pass-through right here, fold down seats. So we've got additional storage space. Let's get a load of the rear seat environment of the G63. Now we've got a child seat in here, but there is a lot of space back here. Now let's go ahead and hop on the inside. Another one of the coolest parts of all G-Wagons is, listen to the sound when I shut the door. That is so epic. We've got the side-mounted exhaust right here. Really nice interior. They stepped up their interior game with the new generation G-Wagon immensely. Look at these beautiful quilted leather seats. Burmester high-end audio system. Let's go ahead and hop up. Now, it is kind of difficult to get up into. It's really, really high off the ground. Go ahead and hop inside. Inside of the new G63 4x4 squared now, gorgeous carbon fiber steering wheel, Alcantara on the sides, 9-speed automatic gearbox with paddles. Now we've got 3 different locking differentials, one for the front, one for the rear, and one for both front and rear. Ambient lighting throughout the interior. I love that they incorporated that S-Class E63 style dual screen. Let's go ahead and fire it up. We've got a variety of drive modes to choose from. It feels very similar to traditional Mercedes, other than the fact that we're 7 feet off the ground and we've got this massive oh shit handle that says G63 4x4 squared. Dynamic drive mode selector, Sport, Sport Plus. No race mode in this thing, although that's not all that surprising. Slippery mode as well, really cool graphics on the screen. All right, let's take this out for a drive and see what it's like. Behind the wheel of the new G63 4x4 squared, that was actually a really gutsy move because this is one of the most imposing vehicles on the road. When they originally released the first generation 4x4, I was pretty confused why they didn't come out with an AMG version. It was a $250,000 plus SUV. I felt like they should have the most powerful engine that they can put in it. Well, now we've got the G63 4x4 squared, and it's every bit as fast and as expensive as you would think it would be. 577 horsepower, apparently 0 to 60 in 5 seconds flat, which is ridiculous for something this large. And it'll cost you $351,000 as its base price. The only problem is, after options, you're in the $380,000 range, and then you have to pay markup. These things are commanding a ridiculous amount of markup over MSRP. We're talking people shelling out upwards of $500,000 for a G-Wagon SUV. Now, special thanks to Houston Crosta from Royalty Exotic Cars for making this video possible. I've got a link in the description below to his channel. This thing actually sounds pretty good. 0 to 60 in 5 seconds flat. Pulls pretty good for such a big vehicle, for real. Now, they've fixed a lot of the body roll issues with the normal G63. I've heard a couple people say that this drives like a normal G-Wagon, and honestly, after going around a couple turns, I'm not sure if I fully agree with that. It definitely does have some body roll, and because your center of gravity is so high off the ground, it definitely is a very unique driving position and experience. But there's nothing quite as badass and commanding as driving one of these on the road. I was following Houston Crosta, the owner of this car, around when I was in my car off to lunch and just watching it drive around. There's really nothing else like it on the road with this type of presence. a ladder on the back from the factory, all of the carbon fiber fender flares. It is pretty darn ridiculous. And at the same time, despite being such a rugged off-road vehicle, we've got a whole bunch of technology, upgraded Burmester speaker system. We've got this nice IWC clock that comes on the AMG model cars, and of course we have a whole bunch of different ambient lighting options as well. I will say I really like this steering wheel. It feels like something that would be in one of their performance sports cars, like, you know, a new generation E63, except we've got it in a G63 4x4 squared. Whole bunch of different controls here for the multimedia system, dual 12.3-inch screens. Let's actually look at some of the options that we have in the infotainment. We've got an exhaust button, which is cool, 360-degree camera, different buttons for the suspension. Thank you very much, sir. Pulling back in here. Let's go ahead and park this thing up and look at some of the infotainment options. Back at royalty right now. This thing is absolutely absurd. What a vehicle. Just watching it pull up with those massive headlights. All right, we'll go to home here. I'm just curious if there's any differences between, you know, your traditional AMG vehicle, dynamic select, engine data, vehicle data. What kind of info can we get? Cool graphics. Look at that. That's just tire pressure. It shows you tilt, both forward and backwards and side to side, which is pretty cool. Gas pedal and braking for off-roading. Whether you'd actually use this or not, I have no idea, but it does look pretty trick. Some storage space right here, storage right here as well. Now, interestingly, this is a manual operating shade here. It's not automatic after you've paid $500,000, which is a little annoying. Alcantara everywhere. This is also cool. I didn't realize that Mercedes started doing this. They've got a digital mirror. A lot of American car companies, Chevrolet, etc., do this. You can flip it backwards, and then it'll give you a normal conventional mirror. Nice high-end audio system up here. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.